Hey friends, how are you doing?
Hi, hope you are doing fine or doing good.
Doing great.
Great. So today is the weekend. So the other day I found online that there's a website
Called Would You Rather. Would you rather do this or that? We're gonna have some fun with that.
We want to ask each other and see how we're gonna answer and see like what's our reactions gonna be like.
Invite you guys to join us and think about what you would pick. And to randomize these questions, we're gonna generate random numbers, so we just take whatever number it shows on the list of questions.
So the website is called Would You Rather Questions for Couples.
So if you guys want to do that yourself and generate a random number, you can just go into Google, type in random number generator. It's gonna generate a random number in between that range. That's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna use this list. There's 120 questions with numbers from 1 to 120, so we know where to go. We're gonna base the questions on that.
Each of us gonna ask each other 10 questions. So total is gonna be 20 questions.
Who goes first?
No.
You don't
Rock,
have to beat
paper,
it.
scissors,
You don't
right?
have to beat it in your hand.
Rock, paper, scissors, right?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
So
To
I'm
three.
the winner.
To 3.
3 times? Okay. Rock, paper, scissors. 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 Rock, paper, scissors.
This isn't gonna work out.
We can read each other minds. So
Okay, you won. You can choose whether you want to start or not.
Okay.
We're just taking the same things all the time. You won, so do you want to start asking me or?
Yeah, I want to start asking you.
Okay. You just tap generate and then it's gonna.
So I was just gonna type in generate, like here. I want to show a viewers. I'm gonna type in generate. 68.
Okay, 68. What is 68?
Sorry, I said a baby Yoda.
Go, 68. I'm getting ready.
68. Would you rather be 11 feet tall or 9 inches tall?
Oh God. 11 feet. That's like twice my height. I think I would prefer to be 9 inches tall because I could sneak into places without people noticing that I'm there.
9 inches.
I mean, also people are not gonna. You walk on the sidewalk, they're gonna think you're some kind of animal.
Animal?
Yeah. You don't know what's coming at you. Maybe a squirrel or something.
9 inches? Like how?
I think being 11 feet tall is a bigger problem because nothing is made for people like that. You cannot sit in a car. You cannot sit on a plane. You cannot go through any door. Seems impossible. I would rather be 9 inches tall, I think.
9 inches tall. Okay, let me see 9 inches 2 centimeter for friends who
22 centimeters.
22
So, like-
centimeters.
Like that.
So just like that. So for folks who don't use the
Imperial
inches,
system.
yeah, 9 inches is about 22.86 centimeters. Very short, like a squirrel, yes. All right, move on to the next question. I am gonna hit generate again. All right, so the number is 10. All right, I'm gonna move up to.
I'm gonna ask you now. We switch.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
The question is, would you rather work an easy job for someone else or a difficult job for yourself?
I would rather working a difficult job for myself.
Why is that?
It's more freedom. I can control, manage my time as well. I don't have to ask someone else for their permission if I have like some family emergency or I have to go to doctor appointments and I have to ask for the permission if I can take a day off. That's so annoying. So I would rather doing a difficult job for myself, and then I think I would feel like more motivated as well.
Fulfilled.
Yeah,
Because you know you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
How about you guys? What do you think? So would you rather to work an easy job but for someone else, or you're gonna do a difficult job but for yourself? What you think?
Let us know.
All right, next
Your
question.
turn.
My turn to ask Lucas question.
44.
44. Would you rather get your paycheck given to you in pennies or never be able to use cash again?
That's easy. I would prefer to never be able to use cash again.
Why?
It's not. I don't think it's so much of a drawback not being able to use cash again. But getting your paycheck in pennies, what are you gonna do with that?
Pennies, that's a lot.
Bring it to the bank?
So to keep track of like the number of questions we ask each other, I think I'm gonna write down on a piece of paper. So so far I'm gonna write down Lucas and so far I'm 1 and 2 for you, right?
Yes.
1 for mine and 2 questions for Lucas. So Lucas, he picked never use cash again over pennies. That makes sense.
That would be baskets, buckets,
Yeah.
a car full of pennies.
It makes sense though, but I'm not sure how about Germany though. But like here in the US, more and more people they use credit cards.
Or your phone. It's
Apple
not
Pay.
really a problem.
Yeah.
Not being able to use cash, except some places, but rare.
How about you? In your country, like if we travel to your country, is it acceptable if we do not bring any cash at all, or just use credit card or PayPal or Apple Pay? Leave a comment below. How about Germany though? Like if I travel to Germany and then
You definitely have to bring cash. So ask if you get your next paycheck in pennies. Bring it home.
pennies, but if you go to supermarket and you give them pennies, are they gonna get mad at you?
I think it depends on the amount of it.
Okay.
Like I think they're supposed to take a certain amount of coins, but if you're paying for something that's $100 in pennies, I don't think they have to take that.
I see.
Guess where are they gonna put it?
I think it depends here, but I think most people here they using credit card. They don't use cash anymore. But if you go to Chinatown, or North End,
Little Italy.
yeah, they prefer cash.
There's some signs that say cash only.
Yeah, like you need cash for.
They don't like paying the fees that you have to pay to the credit card companies.
It's so annoying because I don't usually bring cash to myself. I just usually bring my phone, and then it's very convenient for me. But oh well. All right, move on to the next questions.
Some boy. Me.
All right.
Generate. Next question for mine is number 106.
106.
Scroll down to 106. Okay, question is, would you rather live your entire life in virtual reality where all your wishes are granted, or just in the normal real world? So virtual reality, like it's not real.
Like the VR classes, like
You live in that world for the rest of your life and all your wishes are granted. Or just the normal real world.
I would say I prefer living in the normal real world because I know that's real. Yeah, virtual reality is all I made up. You living in the bubble, like created.
But if the only thing you know is virtual reality, it is the real world. It doesn't matter whether it's virtual or not. If that's the only experience you know and that you have, that's the new normal.
Can I pick blue and red pills? For anyone
No.
who watched The Matrix. It's very similar to that. It's like
No.
That's The Matrix.
Yeah, but the game is called Would You Rather. There's no in between. There's either that or this.
I would rather us still living in just a normal real world. So
Me
at
too.
least it's a
I
real
would
world.
pick that too, yeah.
I mean, virtual it's not real, and then it's just kind of weird though. What if we're actually living in a virtually real world?
That's what I said. And that's the only thing that you know. It's the real new. It doesn't matter whether it's real or not. But then again, if all your wishes are granted, I think it might sound nice in the beginning, but if everything you wish for becomes true right away, you get tired of it and you lose every kind of motivation or anything.
Kind of boring, right?
Yeah.
Like living that life, like, oh, I wish I could have more money, and then
You're
like
gonna become lazy and not do anything because everything just
there,
comes
like
to you anyway, like a spoiled brat.
Let us know what you think. Would you rather living in virtual reality or a real world? Next question. Okay, 2 for me as well. The next one.
Dude, I saw this the other day. Is that how you count?
Yeah.
That's Asian style. I saw that the other day and I was like, what the is that?
What you been?
We just do those lines like 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 5 across it. Oh, you see that in movies, like in prison cells at the wall, like they count the days.
I see. All right, so I'm counting.
That's some interesting cultural thing right here.
Really? I don't know. The way I count the question is that I draw in a square and then a cross, and then I'm gonna move on to the next one.
So you go 5.
Yeah, go 5.
4 lines.
Yeah, and then a cross.
4 lines and then a line in between.
Yeah, like that.
So that's 5.
Cross. And then Lucas, he said that actually, like in the West, like people do that by
Just lines.
Just
1,
line.
2, 3, 4, and then
cross.
a diagonal one. So I saw this the other day, and I didn't know what this was.
Interesting. I don't know.
I think most of our viewers might be familiar with this, but it's new to me, definitely. But it's interesting.
What you think? If anyone from other Asian country, you feeling more familiar with that, just let us know. I'm curious. I never noticed that until today. Like Lucas just brought it up.
Yeah.
Lucas just brought it up. I was like, wait a second. Is it an Asian thing? I don't know. I just counted it this way. All right, move on to the next question for Mr. Lucas. I'm gonna generate it. So the next question is 22. 22. Would you rather win 25,000 or your best friend win $100,000?
These are some of the questions where friendships might get into trouble.
It's gonna break your friendship.
So would I rather win 25,000 or your best friend win 100,000? I'm gonna go with my best friend win 100,000, and then I'll tell him that I wished for that and ask him to give me 25,000 so I have it and he has more.
That's smart.
Win-win situation, right?
That's smart. I mean,
I'm not gonna be jealous.
Aww.
Well, I might, but if I get that money, yeah, it's fine.
That's a win-win
Win-win situation.
Like you still have some money, but you don't lose your friend.
And he gets a lot.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Aww.
Aw, how about you?
Such a nice friend.
Who's your best friend?
I'm thinking. I have many friends.
And you wish for that,
Oh.
and then they give you that.
What is my best friend? It's like, I don't care. I'm gonna keep all by myself.
And then you lost a friend and $25,000.
That's sad.
Tricky question, huh?
It is a tricky question, yeah.
So you might ask yourself, is that really your best friend?
Yeah.
More money, more problems, right?
That's true. I mean, you need money to live, but if too much money,
You're gonna develop other problems,
yeah, it
for
is.
sure.
Yeah, like Family Feud.
At the show?
Yeah, like the show, yes. How about you, friends? Would you rather win $25,000 or your best friend win $100,000? Would you gonna do the same as what Lucas just said he's gonna do? Or just keep everything by yourself? What? Alright, so
Me. So now it's becoming a square.
yeah. It's becoming a square.
Next question. 7.
7, okay.
So question number 7 is, would you rather be a master in one skill or proficient in 10?
Proficient. I mean, it's
Means
you're not doing bad.
means good,
Yeah.
not a master.
Mastering one skill. or proficient in 10? This question kind of tricky too. I think I would say I would rather be a master in one skill.
Yeah.
Then yeah, at least I know that I am the best at doing.
One of the best.
Yeah, one of the best at doing one thing. But I think proficient in 10 is not that bad too. It's not like you doing bad in 10. Like proficient is at good level.
It's a good, yeah.
In 10. But I mean, as an employer, they would rather, I don't know, I don't know.
It depends on the skill.
It depends on the
Right.
skill, yeah.
If it's a skill that you can help a lot of people with and you're a master at it, that's great.
Yeah.
But if it's some kind of skill that you like and you're a master at it, but you can't really help anyone with it, then
So it depends on the skill. Like if that skill like can help other people,
what if the skill doesn't help other people but it makes you happy?
yeah, I would rather like a skill that can do both. Like I'm good at that, I feel happy, and then I can help other people as well. For example, cooking. Like there's many people like they enjoy cooking, and then they can make like YouTube video, or they can like cook food. I mean, they share like their cooking tips to other people,
But are they masters at it?
cooking.
Master chef.
Yeah, or like Gordon Ramsay.
Do you know that guy?
Do you know that guy? So I would say it depends on the skill.
What if you can choose? You would definitely go for that one skill. You can choose the skill.
Yeah.
What if the skill is acquiring other skills? You're a master at acquiring other skills.
Then I would definitely pick that.
See how you can bend these questions?
Smart Lucas.
Very theoretical, philosophical.
Yeah, so I would rather to be a master in one skill, and that skill is gonna be I will be a master of obtaining other kind of skills.
Okay. I'm undecided. I'm undecided.
You're undecided?
Yeah.
Feel free to leave comments. Alright, next question.
Your turn to ask me.
Yes. 67. Would you rather have to wear every shirt inside out or every pair of pants backward? This question tests like how severe your OCD is.
Or how well you can improvise.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. Every shirt inside out.
Every shirt. Why? Why the pants backward? Like if you wear
As a guy, that might be difficult with the pants.
like if you wear like yoga pants or sweatpants, then
Well, I'm thinking about jeans.
the
Regular
jeans.
pants.
Jeans, then it's hard, yes.
And
because
how do you unbutton them? You have to unbutton them behind you
zip.
if you want to go to the bathroom. Every shirt inside out, it looks silly, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, I would agree with the shirt too. It's not that bad, especially if you wear it in winter. Like people are not gonna notice because you wear a jacket outside, so people are not gonna even notice.
And if you wear your pants the other way around, your pants backwards. If you're walking towards people, they might think that you're walking away from them because they might think it's the other side of the person.
I mean, they're gonna look at your face, not look at your pants though.
Okay, that's true.
Well, they're gonna look at you weird for sure.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Oh, you wanna generate it?
Yeah, water.
Water.
20.
20. Okay.
20 for my. Would you rather spend a year at war or a year in prison?
Oh my god. Oh my god. This question is horrible. Who wanna be at war and who wanna live in the prison? That's horrible. At war, no. In prison, horrible. There's no freedom. I like freedom.
What is there freedom in war? You don't even have peace. What kind of freedom is that?
I want peace and freedom. I don't want to spend a year in war or a year in prison. How about a year in prison, but the sentence is I have to stay at home. I cannot go anywhere, but I can just still stay home in my own house. like more like for probation. That I would rather that over living a year at war.
With a foot bracelet?
Oh yeah, I mean it's better than I have to live like in the prison, in the actual prison, and then share space with other prisoners. They're gonna beat me up.
I think it depends on where the prison is.
Yeah, that's
Being
true.
prison in the United States is a lot worse than a prison in Norway where you can play PlayStation.
I am not sure about other country, but I think it's the same. You used to be in prison. It's gonna be hard for you to.
Harder to find a job, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be harder for you to get a job.
But your chance of survival is higher in prison than at war.
So I would say I would rather spend a year in prison, and that prison is gonna be my own house, like
Okay.
for like more like probation. Yeah, like house arrest. And then I still can't believe it. Like right now it's 2022. Like in some countries, like there's still war happening. That's so
Still
sad.
war, starting war, yep.
That's so sad. How about you? What do you think? A year in prison or a year at war? What'd you pick?
Tough question.
That's a tough question. I want peace and
Happiness.
and happiness and freedom. I think everyone does. All right, next question. My turn. 79. Would you rather have a flying carpet or a car that can drive underwater?
Flying carpet.
Aladdin?
No explanation needed. Flying carpet.
Why? Driving under the water is gonna be cool. Like you can see other fishes and other like
Yeah, you might
creatures.
do that 2 or 3 times and think it's fun, but then you lost the purpose of it. Flying carpet, you can always use it.
I mean, you can always use it.
It's always gonna come in handy. You don't have to drive under the water, and there's submarines that can already do that. What do you want to do under the water?
Explore oil source, or you can go help fix the internet cable. Go help the internet cable.
Yeah, I'd prefer the flying carpet.
Aladdin.
Yeah, much cooler.
I agree with that too. I would rather, yeah, even
Avoid traffic. Just fly everywhere.
curious if the carpet do have to charge it or something, or add gas, or like.
It's a flying carpet. No.
A flying carpet. how? What if you turn around, or like there's a strong wind? So you need a seatbelt.
Not in New Hampshire, right, guys?
I'm sure I know.
There's no seatbelt for flying carpets.
Yeah, I agree with him. I would rather a flying carpet than a car that can drive underwater.
87. Close. So, would you rather have everything you draw become real but be permanently terrible at drawing, or be able to fly but only as fast as you can walk?
What kind of question is that? Would you rather have everything you draw become real,
Yeah.
but be permanently terrible at drawing? Like, I cannot draw,
You
but
cannot draw well, but everything that you draw becomes real. Or would you rather be able to fly but only as fast as you can walk?
fly as fast as I can walk.
You're gonna be flying pretty slow. Slower than that flying carpet. So you're gonna make really ugly things become real.
Yeah, technically, I don't know. I would say I would rather I can fly. Yeah, if I draw horrible and I think those horrible things, I'm gonna see those ugly things walking around. That sounds weird. No, I don't want that. How about you?
What if I draw a flying carpet?
Sure, it's gonna come out as dry, like as like flying carpet,
Not too sure about that.
or is it just like an
Just be
ugly,
something like a piece of
random?
paper.
Yeah, like a piece
A
of
rug.
paper. Yeah.
A nasty rug.
Yeah. Next question for Luke is 49. Are you having fun?
Yeah, I like those questions.
Yeah, those questions are very fun. Like it's tricky sometimes. Would you rather be the world's best singer or the world's best dancer? Singer or dancer? Sing or dance?
Probably singer.
Singer?
Yeah. I don't exactly know why, but I remember more as a good singer rather than a dancer. Do you remember anything? Michael Jackson, where he was
He
he was
both.
good at both dancing and singing.
Yeah, but that's
I
true.
would pick singer.
You bet singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say singer too. Dancing. It's cool, but
It's cool, but yeah, cool for a short time. 23. Would you rather live in a treehouse or a cave?
tree house or a cave? I would say a treehouse.
Why?
Treehouse feel more free. Cave is dark and humid.
How about bad weather? Blizzard or heavy rain? You're probably gonna be better off in a cave, right?
That's true. Okay, it depends on the weather. Okay, yeah, even though I don't really enjoy living in a cave, so in terms of safetyness, living inside a cave is more like it's safer.
Treehouse sounds nicer but less practical. Cave lady.
In terms of safety, I think I will pick cave instead of a treehouse. How about I build a treehouse next to a cave?
Next to a cave.
Yeah.
Well, then that's a different question. So you go into the cave when it gets too cold or dangerous?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, treehouse kind of cool. Living there and you can see the birds like chirping around you and the wind. Okay.
But also, if you're in a cave, bears might come in there in the cave. Let's just stay living in a house for now.
Yes, that's the best. Living in a house is the best. Yes. 99. Would you rather be an amazing painter or a brilliant mathematician? Good at math or good at painting?
Painting.
Painting?
I'll go with painting, yeah. Cannot stand math. Even if you're brilliant at it, it sounds boring. At least painting brings joy. Mathematics just upsets people because they don't understand it, they have to go through it, they have to learn it. Painting sparks joy. 6. Would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes in the future or 150 years into the future?
And the 10 minutes in the future is
Good enough.
it's good enough. Yeah, 150 years into the future, I think I would die. I think I will die before that. I'm not gonna live like up to like 150 years later. So, what about you guys? You would rather have the ability to see into 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? 101. Would you rather never get angry or never be envious?
I'm gonna go with never be envious.
Envious. Why?
I mean, there's nothing really good with that feeling, envious. Envy is like being jealous, right?
Yeah.
Envious. You envy other people. You envy something that you don't have. There's no good thing attached with that. It can only make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Getting angry seems it's more natural. It's gonna happen. There are gonna be things that you get angry, but then you can change those things, and then it doesn't make you angry anymore. You can use it to improve, but being envious, what does that get you? It gets you nothing. Question 9. Would you rather be able to talk to animals on land or animals underwater?
I would rather be able to talk to animals on land because I'm living on the land. I don't live underneath water. I have to wait until they come up to the water to talk to them. I live on land and I can talk to the squirrels or I can talk to the mice. Even
Ask them how they're doing.
Yeah, ask them how they're doing and can you move away please? Like don't live in my property.
Talk to dogs.
Yeah, I can talk to cats. They are grumpy. Usually when they see me, they just run away, so I don't know.
No.
77. Would you rather wake up naked in the forest 5 miles from home or your underwear at work?
If you're working from home, you just wake up at home in your underwear. No, I would rather wake up at my workplace with underwear. I mean, it's difficult to explain what happened, but naked in a forest and you have to walk back home, people are gonna see you. It's not like they won't notice. In a forest, you might also get hurt by stepping onto something.
More like insects gonna bite you.
Yeah. I'd rather wake up at work with my underwear on. 56. Would you rather be extremely underweight or extremely overweight?
At least like with underweight, you can try to eat and gain weight. But being extremely overweight, you cannot even move. You cannot even do anything on your own.
Being extremely underweight, it's easier to gain weight than lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
You just eat.
Mm-hmm.
But losing tons of weight is more difficult.
Probably pick extremely underweight. All right, one more question for each of us. 114. Would you rather have all corporations know all of your computer usage, or this is a good question, or the government know all of your computer usage?
If I had to answer spontaneously, I would say all corporations.
Why?
Yeah, they might use it to target me with advertisements, but it's like the worst thing that could happen. The government, they know who I am, where I live. But then again, much of what the corporations know about you, the government knows anyway. So it's kind of like choosing between both or only the government.
Oh, because I know that in Germany, like you guys like get paranoid in terms of
Privacy of data, yeah.
Yeah, privacy of data usage. Like on social media, right? I think it's normal for you to use your real name. But it's a big no-no to German people to use
For
their
some
real
reason,
name.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's okay to write your name like outside your mailbox. That everyone can, like who walk by your neighborhood can see your name.
That's true, that's true.
They can just like walk by your house and they can see who's living in the apartment, but you don't feel comfortable.
You don't have that here in the US, yeah, there's usually not. Sometimes in big apartment buildings, but houses, there's no name. Just a number.
Yeah, usually we put a number, we don't put name, but some houses they put the name there for the mailman to actually see it. But the thing is that I think probably they think that like with social media, anyone can actually look you up. But with the name like outside the mailbox, that only the mailman or like someone who live in your neighborhood can see it. It raises a lot of concern among German people in terms of
It does.
data usage.
And usually when people post pictures of their young children, they blur the face or they put a smiley over the face so people cannot see the face.
Really?
Yeah.
Why was the point?
I know, then what is the point of posting the child in the first place, right?
Yeah, like why you put a picture of your child and then you blur the face? I'm like, what?
Then don't post it at all.
Exactly. So your answer is gonna be you prefer the company to have your computer data than the government. That's correct? That's your answer?
It stays with the corporation. I would prefer that, yeah. 29. Would you rather never get a cold ever again or never be stuck in traffic ever again?
I would never get a cold ever again.
Really?
Yeah.
But think about how much time you would save if you're never stuck in traffic again.
Yeah, the traffic here is not that bad. No, I hate having a cold. It lasts for like for a week to me. Like for a week, and then I have to go to work and then wearing face masks and having a cold.
So you would rather feel well
Yes,
sitting in traffic rather
Yes.
than staying at home having a cold.
exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Health
Sounds
is more
reasonable.
important. And that is the end of our Would You Rather question session. And feel free to leave comments below if you want to ask us any other questions or if you disagree with any of our answers. Feel free to leave comments below as well.
Maybe you're gonna answer all of those the complete opposite way.
Yeah,
Who knows?
we're not gonna judge you.
Maybe.
Maybe. just like how you judge us.
And also let us know about this. I'm pretty curious.
Yes.
Alright friends, thanks for watching. If you like our content, like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get an information about when we're posting another video and you don't miss it.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See
Later.
you.
Hang up live.